Hello everybody, welcome to your weekly lesson. I hope you're doing well. So the usual couple of things that you need to do before we get started. Make sure you download the resources from the button below, your PDFs for this lesson. And also make sure you go and book your Momentum and Deep Dive live call for this week. So obviously in this program we have the pre-recorded part, which is this. The beauty of this is that you can watch it in your own time, but also the beauty of this program is that we have the live calls here. And so you can go and book that in the Momentum and Deep Dive part of the website. That's the live element of this program. So in those lessons, you're able to meet us live, meet me and your fellow students, obviously, and ask any questions you want. So that's the very cool part about this program is the community and the live aspect of it, where you can ask any questions you might like, get feedback on your playing. Your questions could be about this week's topic, but they could also be about any topic, any challenge you have in your gypsy jazz guitar journey. You can get feedback on your playing, you can get feedback on your practice schedule even. When there are no questions in those calls, then we use the time to dive deeper into this week's topic. So, and then those again are very interactive sessions, so it's a very cool part of this program, so make sure you join those. Should you not be able to join those calls, then make sure you, if you have any question, you can ask that via the Facebook group or by sending me an email, however you prefer. If you are on Facebook, I recommend you post your question in the Facebook group so the other students see it and they also can learn from that. And we'll get back to you within 48 hours with a written answer or a video answer, depending on what we think you might need to get your questions answered. So the other thing that I would mention before we start is that you're going to see actions at the end of this class. And so with the actions for this week, make sure you complete them, but also make sure you post in the Facebook group. So you post in the Facebook group when the actions are done, so you could just post done with the actions and then post maybe a couple of takeaways. Or even better, if you can post about your performance. So if you want to do a post of you applying the content of this week's lesson, or do a post sharing your thoughts, performing something, then I highly encourage you to do so. And there are many reasons that this is very beneficial for you to do. One is obviously we nurture the community, which is our most important asset. But also if you commit to posting something of you playing, you performing something, you know that the other students are going to watch it. And then because you know everybody else is going to watch it, then you're going to perform and practice at a higher standard, which means you're going to improve faster. By posting and performing in front of a camera, you're also practicing your playing for an audience muscle. It is the very same muscle mentally. And so, and also the other thing is you're going to inspire the other people to also post and share their journey and their progress with everyone. Especially if you are someone who thinks they're not ready yet to post, then especially you, you can inspire the other students who are also beginners even more to do the same. So it's a virtuous circle where we feed the community, we nurture the community, and you also get better at this. So without further ado, let's dive into this week's topic, and I hope you enjoy it. So this week's category is Learn Standards. We are learning Django Reinhardt's Stompin at Decca, which is a beautiful tune. And of course it's important to keep your repertoire, keep adding songs to your repertoire. At the end of the day, the reason why we learn music in the first place is to play songs, and play songs is a great way to learn music as well. So this song, I particularly like it. Well, it's a great melody, and there's great energy in this song. It's got a great vibe. It's that sort of happy sound typical to the 1930s. And this song is great. We will see when we go and analyze the melody. But the song is great because it actually teaches us how effective arpeggios and triads can be in terms of making music. You know, often when we go and learn arpeggios, they don't sound particularly musical, or we think that, you know, that's actually not what we're going to end up using when we go and improvise or make music in general. But it turns out it is. You know, this song actually uses arpeggios, you know, actually not just triads. It actually uses major six, dominant arpeggios, some triads, but it's just with you know, very simple stuff. It is a very effective song, and that's why I like it. Is in terms of teaching it and teaching how learning your arpeggios and triads can actually be a great deal. And you know, it is more about the placement of the phrases. It's more about the rhythm, how you play the phrases. You know, Django and Grappelli, they were great at rhythm, you know, and so that's what made it special. Not necessarily the notes that they played, but where they played, how they played them. So it's a great song to analyze and to add to your repertoire for sure. Having said that, let's dive into it. As I said, it's a tune with a lot of energy. It's one of my favorite Django compositions. Today we'll be going through the usual steps to learn a new song. Depending on your level, some of the things that we will go through today might be outside of your comfort zone. It is a good thing. Being outside of your comfort zone means that you're learning, you're improving and growing as a musician. So we just keep working with patience and you will see the results. One of my favorite proverbs there from Africa, actually, infinite boiling softens the stone, which means, you know, it might seem very hard and impossible at first, but it is really a game of endurance, a game of perseverance, right? So this is a lot of fun to learn and to play, a great one to add to your repertoire, so enjoy the lesson. This lesson and every lesson that we do in the Learn Standards category, more of a lesson in terms of how to play the song step by step on a practical level, which you probably don't need a lesson for it because you've got your chords, you've got the melody written down in tablatures, and so you can listen to the song. What I'm really aiming for with these repertoire lessons is to ingrain the system to learn a song inside out. So going through these steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., should become a habit when you learn a new song. These steps are designed so that you learn a song inside out and you don't forget it, and or you retain it for as long as possible. And all of these steps are designed to get you to work on lots of areas of your musicianship, not only repertoire. So it's important that we go through these steps and learn these steps one by one. This is the focus with this lesson for me, is that. So step one is to listen to as many versions of the song as possible and familiarize yourself with it. Now you have a PDF in your resources. It's called Stompin a Decca versions PDF. So we've got obviously Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli. We've got Joshua Stefan and Oli Soikeli. We've got Chavolo Schmidt. We've got a version by Dorado Schmidt, Maya Uber, and Peter Beats. There's a version by Damian Petzinowski, who also came to here for our program through a masterclass in the past. We might have him again soon. And yeah, so this is these are just a few versions that you can begin listening to. You can pause this video, go and listen to all of them before moving on. Why is this step important? So I like to learn a song without starting to learn how to play it straight away. I like to listen to it first, because the mistake that at least I found myself in the past do a lot would be go to a jam session and then perhaps, like in this instance, hear people call Stompin a Decca and I wouldn't know it. And maybe that would happen again and again and again. So eventually we'd go home and think, okay, I really need to learn that song. But the only reason why I wanted to learn it is that people were calling that song at jam sessions, and so I thought I should really know it. And so I made the mistake of downloading a chart, reading the chords, learning the chords, and then go through the melody quickly, and actually, it's a great tune. And then, you know, sort of know it, and then I would kind of know the chords, know the harp, but I really didn't know the song. And I realized that, yes, I could play it at the next jam session, but then after a couple of weeks it would be gone. So it's much better to go through these steps in this order and be really thorough with learning this song inside out. And it starts with, you actually need to be able to sing the song before attempting to play it. You know, the song needs to be in your head clearly and exactly in your head. That's why this step one. So feel free to pause this video and go and listen to all of those before we move on. You can take even more time and research more versions of the song, and do this slowly in your own time. The good thing about step one here is that you actually don't have to learn it. You don't have to do this by taking time out of your practice session. You know, it could be, you could create a playlist on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you use, or YouTube even. And yeah, learn this song, listen to this song as you drive, as you do your dishes, as you do your chores, whatever, as you walk, as you do anything. So it doesn't have to take time out of your practice schedule. You can have this list of many versions of the same song on repeat as you do other stuff for the whole week, right? But really know, you know, really make sure you know the song before moving on to step two. Step two is also super important, and it is to learn the lyrics. Now, there are no lyrics in this song because it is an instrumental composition. However, I mentioned this step here so that you keep it in mind for the next time you're learning a tune that does have lyrics. Now, you might be confused about this. Why do I have to learn lyrics if I'm not going to sing it? But bear with me, there's a very good reason. We will talk about it in depth for when we learn a song with lyrics. For now, just know that this should be step two. But there's a couple of very, very good reasons why you should learn the lyrics of the song. You know, it is very fascinating, and it does help you with your playing. In fact, I know a pianist who said, since I learned the lyrics to my songs, even if I don't sing them, I just play them so much better. But yeah, we will talk about this, but keep it in mind. For now, when there are no lyrics, such as this song, the idea with step two is that you should memorize the melody of the song even before you attempt to play it. And so make sure you can sing the melody in your head from start to finish exactly before you move on to the next step. Even in this song, in this case where, you know, the B section always gets a bit improvised, I'm pretty sure Grappelli here as well was kind of improvising it. It is an ear training exercise regardless, so just learn the song as it's recorded and treat the first 32 bars as that's the melody. Even if some of it is a bit improvised, it's an ear training exercise, so treat that as the melody. Page 4 sees finally step 3. On step 3, you finally go and learn the chords and look at the form and the chord chart of the song. So this is, let me play you through. I'll play the chords here. Now we'll talk about the harmony in a moment, but that's basically, this is the most basic version of the song, chords-wise. So no 2-5-1s, just the 5s, just the dominant chords, and just simple chords. Of course, we could make it more complicated by playing it more in more of a modern way, if you prefer that. by playing 2 5s instead of 5s, so G major, and then B flat minor, and then A minor, but whatever, like this is the basic form. We'll talk about it in a moment. Now, how to find the chart of a song? For me, the best way to find the chart of a song, the best way to approach this first would be, first of all, try to work it out by ear. For me, that would be the best thing to do. Try to work out the chords by ear. How do you do that? It depends. You know, you might be new to this. This might be kind of a new thing that you're not familiar with. So let me share this with you so I can show you. So when I'm working out the chords of a song by ear, obviously this would be a great ear training exercise. I'm not saying you must work out the whole thing. It depends on how comfortable you are with it and how much you struggle. If you find it fairly easy, then I would recommend you go and try and learn the whole thing by ear. If you struggle, then at least attempt the first few bars. But first I would go and listen to the song. So for example, I would go and listen to that. And I would start counting the bars. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was the audio was muted. 4 bars. Okay, that was the first 8 bars. Let's see what happens. Okay, and another 8 bars was kind of the same thing, so I could hear that AA, right? They were sort of almost the same, melody-wise, no? So you know that's an AA, structure-wise. Okay, here we go to the next section. Now it's different, so it must be the B section. 1, 2, 3, 4. You count like that, obviously. And then that was another 8 bars. And then what happens after that? Back to the A section. And then solos. So see, this tells me before working it out, I like to know what the structure is, and you can work that out by ear straight away, right? So I know that I've got an A section that is 8 bars long. So I'm trying to find I've got a new laptop, so I don't know where the bar sign is now. Well, I'll use the exclamation. Oh no, here it is. Got it. So, well, you get the idea. I'm not going to spend half an hour on this, but okay, I've got 4 bars here. Another 4, and I know the A section is the same, probably twice. So times 2, and then the B section, and so on. So I do this on a piece of paper. I prepare the layout, and then I start listening to the chords. And see here, it's easy to spot what the bass does, or the lowest note. So I'd go and find what the lowest note is. I find that it is a G. You can loop stuff, no? You go and loop it. And you can listen to it as much as you want. And then I would know, okay, the bass note, the root note is G. And then on that, I would try and figure out the next intervals in the chord. So you've got the root, so then the third. Is it going to be a minor third or a major third? So I try with a minor third first, and try to play those, or here. And then when I have that, I'll try and play that against the record and see if it fits. It doesn't, so how about the major third? That's the one, so I know it's gonna have a root, a major third, and then, well, it's gonna be a fifth after that, isn't it? Because, you know, the possible chords that I can have, it can be minor, it can be minor seventh, it can be minor 7 flat 5, it can be diminished 7, or it can be major 7, or dominant 7. It can be augmented as well, but then with a sharp 5, but this would fall under the dominant chord category. And so, you know, minor is 1, flat 3, and 5. Minor 7 is 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7th. Minor 7, flat 5, well, is that. Diminished 7 is 1, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7th. And then major 1, 3, 5, major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, and dominant 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. So if that gave me a major third just now, here I haven't got anything with a major third and a fifth that is different from a perfect fifth. So when I have a major third, the fifth is always a perfect fifth. No flat 5 or sharp 5. So if I got root and major third, I know it's going to be major. 99.99999%. And then, yeah, just you go and look at the seventh. Is it going to be, so I've got 1, 3, 5. And then look at the seventh. Is it going to be a flat seventh? Or you go and check it out. No. Is it going to be a major seventh? That's it. So it is a major chord. Now, probably not major seventh, but we excluded the flat seventh, so it's not dominant. What I mean by not a major seventh, I could use a major seventh there, but in the style, you guys know that, you know, we use major 6, 1, 3, 5, which is 1, 3, 5, 6, or 6 nines. That would be 1, 3, 5, 6, 9. You know, usually we can leave out that fifth. You know, this is probably content from another lesson, but see that I know that it's going to be a G major or G6-9 or some sort of G major. So now I've got my first chord. Actually, the first two, because the first two bars are the same. And then, like this, I'll move on and figure out all the chords of the song. This becomes easy because you get fast at it. But then again, it takes time. Now, if this process already took you half an hour, I would probably try and figure out the first couple of bars and then move on and look for that chart online, on iReal Pro or on YouTube. You know, nowadays there's so many ways of finding a good chart. So, so what you do then, we're here on step 3, page 4, you go and analyze that chart. Analyze the form. So the form, the chords, you know, it's an AABA structure. And then you move on to learn the chords of the chart. So you learn how to play the chords. If you need help with playing the chords, you can go on the free lessons section of either inside your Makeover Coaching dashboard, inside the program, or on the homepage of the website. You'll find it there as well. It's called Free Lessons, and there's every possible way of playing every chord. But then, yeah, you would learn, the first job would be to learn how to play the chord chart, like I showed you before. Right, so now there it says G. You could play a regular G triad, or play the G6-9, G6, up to you. So G. Now a lot of people here make the mistake, or you know, the variation of on bar number 5 of playing A minor, D7th, and then G. So 2-5-1. In fact, it is a 1-5-1 if you listen to the song carefully. So it is actually G, E flat 7th, G, D, and so on. So you need to make sure you know how to play the chords, learn the chart. You should be able to play it. The last step within this step is to be able to play the chords and play the song like with chords and stuff, and sing the melody at the same time. So you should be able to know the melody. So you should have it in your head at least. I'm not saying you should sing it like a singer, but you should be able to hum it, have it in your head. Okay, then we can finally move on to the next step. So see, we haven't been learning the melody yet. Just now, we'll go and learn how to play the melody. So by going to play the melody, we're here, page 6 of the PDF. Here you can open the Sound Slice link document. The melody is what is played in the first 32 bars. There you can learn it there. You can play it, you can loop bars, you can slow it down. Sorry, I'm on the wrong spot. That was the first 32 bars. Finally, you can now go and play and learn the melody. Now, as you go, I'm not going to teach you the melody because it's literally written there. And you can play it and hear how it's played. If you don't know how to read music and you can only read tabs, you can obviously listen to the rhythm and figure it out, because on the Sound Slice link, the notes highlight real time with the rhythm. And so it's really easy to figure it out. But so as you go and learn the melody, obviously learn the first few bars to begin with, and then go and actually analyze what happens in the melody in terms of what intervals are being played against each chord. So if I'm playing it in the guitar octave. You can obviously choose to play it on this octave or the same as the violin octave. Usually for the guitar, you tend to play it here. Sorry. So you can obviously figure it out there. Play there and so on, but make sure you know, okay, it's played against G, so this is the 5th, the 6th, the root, the 3rd, 5th, 6th, root, 3rd, root. Always know that. Now this actually, if you've got some basic knowledge of theory, it should tell you, okay, this is a major 6 arpeggio. And so that's what I love about, this is what I mentioned at the beginning of this lesson, saying, see how we can actually make music just with arpeggios. There's nothing special there. I'm not playing some crazy melody. It's literally just a major 6 arpeggio. How good is that? Then, you know, listening to the next part. Do the same, learn it and then see, okay, root, third, it's over E flat 7th this, isn't it? Root, third, 5th, sorry, root, third, 5th, flat 7th, root, third, 5th, and third. So, again, just an arpeggio. Very musical. It's musical because it targets the same note to finish on both arpeggios. In this case, it's the root of G, and next is the third of E flat. Okay. Let's listen to what's next. Sorry. Again, this is played over a G. 151. In fact, if you go and analyze it, it is something that you can go and use over a 251. So you could spend some time here figuring out, okay, figuring out your intervals, maybe change it to a different box, and use this as a lick. This is a great lick. You can go and use it on 5/1s. So then, as an experiment, what I would do is, let's try and, just like when you transcribe solos, it's the same thing. As an experiment, what I would do is I would try to go and see, okay, E minor, A7th, D. Why don't I try it on coquette and move it to that key? So and then you use it on coquette on a backing track, for example. So there's a lot of things that you can work on when learning the melody, just like when we transcribe solos. Yeah. Now, the goal for this week is just to learn the melody. We'll move on to the solo next week. Okay, so it's just the first 32 bars of the sound slice link. So only now we went and figured out what the melody was. So let me see where we are. Step 5. So you see, step 5 and 6 are gonna be what I call bonus steps. So only if all of this work felt comfortable, and if it didn't take you ages to go through this, if this felt comfortable and doable, achievable, then we can move on to steps 5 and 6, which are step 5 to work out your own solo guitar arrangement of the song, And in my opinion, this is one of the best exercises you can do to develop your musicianship. I know very accomplished players who told me the same thing, which is when they don't have enough time to practice, maybe they are on tour, maybe they're doing this, doing that. When they don't have enough time to practice, then that's the only thing that they do. Working out solo guitar arrangements of songs. And so, again, we actually did a separate course about this. This is a huge topic, so this is not the place to teach how to do that. But you can start and try and figure it out, maybe just using the root notes of chords together with the melody. See, this is great because it actually forces you to, in this instance, I would look at maybe playing the arpeggio in one box. So obviously see what you can do, but even just the process of trying to figure it out, it's a great exercise. And then you've got step 6, which is to actually repeat steps 3, 4, and 5, but in a different key. So work it out a 4th or a 5th up. In this instance, it would mean in the key of C major. So you go and learn the chords, the melody, everything a 5th up or a 4th up. I recommend, I know players who say, or teachers who say, especially, the old school ones back in the day, they would say learn each song in 12 keys. And whilst that might be true, for us guitarists, I believe a 4th or a 5th up. So if you learn every tune, the original key and then a 5th up, for example, or a 4th, then you're learning to transpose. Slowly you're learning to transpose regardless of the key. Because if you're in G and you just think, okay, I'm going to transpose it by one tone, you're not doing any thinking really theory wise. You're just saying, okay, let's just shift everything 2 frets. But if you move it a 5th up, all of the chords that had a root on string 6 now we'll have the root on string 4, string 5, and vice versa. So if I now do this to the key in the key of C major or D major, let's do a 5th up. Okay. See how it changes? So that really forces you to think. So these are my steps when learning a new song, and then on page 9 you'll see your actions for next week. Action 1, memorize the melody of Stompin at Decca. You should be able to sing the whole melody in your head. By the way, as I mentioned, the B section of this song is sort of improvised, but just learn it as if it was the melody, and it follows the same principles. Is the arpeggios really. You should be able to sing the whole melody in your head. Action 2, memorize the chords and the form of Stompin at Decca. You should be able to play rhythm for the whole song without looking at the chart. And action 3, play the melody of Stompin at Decca over a backing track. Bonus points, as always, if you post a video of it in the group. Very looking forward to seeing your videos. Very looking forward to seeing you in the live class. If by any chance you're not able to join the live classes, make sure you ask your questions or post your thoughts and feedback on the Facebook group, and we'll get back to you within 48 hours. Hope you enjoyed the class. Lots of love. I will see you guys soon, and have a beautiful day. All the best.